I graduated in 1987, School of Architecture. Anything unique about my class, I would say it's a fun class. Lots of different students from different areas, different parts of the world. So that was the unique thing, finding out about their background. So that was good about my class. Oh, my name is Oral Selkridge. I thought I did Oral Selkridge. I think the way we developed a sense of community was that during the late hours when we had to work together to try to do a project, when everyone was working on their own project, whether it's a house or a museum, we all worked together in the studio, sometimes staying overnight. And so everyone was able to get to know each other by the time we spent together in the studio. It's interesting. I guess it was just the projects we worked on and just the idea of wanting to become an architect and just wanting to make that accomplishment. So the experience here, working with people and just seeing their talents, I was able to sometimes compete with people. I like to compete. And some of the things I competed with here was track and field. So the feeling of competition really drove me to do well here and to do well in my career. I also competed for track and field here, going as far as to the Olympics in '88. So the competition kind of drove me to do well at City College.
What class would you say was the most impactful class that you took at City College? What the course was?
I can't remember exactly which one, but I know some of the classes that helped me that had an impact on me were the ones that I had more competition. Again, the classes where one student was doing watercoloring or airbrush that helped me to even develop my skills as an artist to design better, to design more and try to compete and try to have the best project. So any class that had good competition, good students, tend to drive me to do well. Right now I'm working towards a goal. I tried it once, started my own business. I had it going for a little bit, and now I'm back with the city. So I've been doing architecture for about 30 years. So half the years I was in the private sector, the other half the public sector. So I enjoyed the private sector because you had the freedom of design, the freedom of coming up with new ideas, and the freedom of doing your own thing and setting your own time. So one of the things that I would like to do is to start that company up again in the future. In one word, perseverance. I think that students need to persevere while you're here, and no matter what happens, to get up again. And whether you get a bad grade in a class, never give up. If you have a goal, you want to be an architect, you can do it. Don't get caught up with the idea of, I'm not doing as well as other students. Sometimes your best accomplishments are going to happen out of school when you're put to the task. And I think a lot of people perform, and when you don't have to worry about studying for a physics exam, studying for a strength of materials exam, when you're just focusing on your craft, your design, I think that's when you'll flourish. So when you're here, sometimes you get bad grades. Don't let that stop you from accomplishing the goal of becoming an architect.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Any other stories that you used?
Stories, lots of stories I have here. Some of the stories I had here was just competing and being written up in the newspaper. And also, I remember one year a professor told me that I couldn't be an Olympian and an architect at the same time. He told me that I had to give up one of the two because it doesn't make sense. You can't walk and chew gum at the same time, oral. That's what he would tell me. But I didn't stop. In fact, he even threatened to give me a low grade if I didn't stop running track. Yeah. I proved him wrong, of course. and that motivated me even more to do well in track and architecture, which I did. And I went Pan American Games. I'm in the Hall of Fame at City College for track and field. So don't let anyone tell you can't do two things or many things at the same time, or pursue goals and just pursue one goal. I think you can pursue many goals. And I always tell my kids to reach for the stars. If you hit the moon, that's pretty good, because the moon is pretty far away. So that's the thing I get out of life.